Today is the 14th of December, 2021. My name is Kwame Owusu Danso. Welcome to the News Review segment here on Pan-African Television. Let me quickly take you through the topics and then I will introduce my panelists for our conversation this morning. Mali's leader promises new election timetable that has been captured by the Daily Graphic newspaper. One teacher, one laptop deductions. Teacher unions to demonstrate. Wow! Asantini condemns Parliament intransigence, fears its recipe for civil disorder. Former IGP discontinues Kweku Anansi's case after judge's warning. Is that a case?
Yes.
Right. Resigned to campaign, Nana to flag bearers. That's on the front page of the Daily Guide newspaper. These are the topics we have tabled for our conversation this morning. I've been joined in the studios by long lost friend, Yirimambo Moses Ambe. Good morning.
Good morning. See you.
I trust you're well.
Very well.
National Organizer CPP.
That's right.
How's your party doing?
Not bad, not bad. CPP is reassessing its strength in all the regions. That is why you don't see me around these days, because I have to be on tours to assess what we can do in the various regions to regain our glory. The lost glory of the CPP.
What has been the assessment so far?
Well, the assessment has been incredibly very good. Because Ghanaians will tell you, and it is obvious, they are really fed up with the MPP and the NDC brouhaha in this country. And they entirely need an alternative. And I can assure you, the only positive alternative left for Ghana is the Convention People's Party.
Ghanaians need an alternative.
They do.
And the alternative is the CPP.
None other but the CPP.
None other
but the CPP.
But the CPP.
Why not, my brother?
Absolutely.
Why are you? Don't you need an alternative?
I mean,
don't you need an alternative?
Oh, we surely certainly do need an alternative. But I don't know if you can find that alternative in the CPP.
Why not?
It's a question of...
it is obvious now. Wherever you go, they say, CPP.
Yeah.
Yes.
I see.
That they have done it before. Hey. You see, we are still enjoying what they did for Mother Ghana. Why not bring them back? They are the masters of the game.
I think you should move to... Yeah.
They are the masters of the game.
Saka, good morning. Yeah, good morning. I must admit that you are looking very handsome this morning.
Oh, thank you very much.
And I must admit that I love what you're wearing.
Oh.
And I must admit that I love your road branding. Saka, which lady have you found who is redesigning Saka?
Wow.
Because I was talked, I thought I was tired, so I left. I was tired.
Redesign.
Wow. Is this what looks only in looks I mean, is it only in looks or in just as you have been, just as you've been traversing the length and breadth of this country.
That's right.
To assess the strength of the CPP.
That's right.
We may also assess the thoughts of Saka on this platform.
Thank you very much.
So we are going to assess Saka's submission to the show, and then we will determine whether or not his newfound love,
that's right,
has impacted positively on Saka's thinking.
Precisely.
Just as it appears that Saka's outlook has been positively impacted. Saka, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
That's right.
How are we?
I'm fantastic.
Your colors have come.
Oh yeah.
Osramku Papa.
Saka, is the appointment in the offing?
Oh no.
But maybe in the next
foreseeable future.
No, we are not thinking about that for now.
Yeah, Saka is in school.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We are not thinking about that
Saka
for
is in
now.
school. So if you call Saka, you ask for 100 Ghana, which will be a subject matter for e-levy. I'm sorry. Saka will not come to your aid because it's school fees. School fees expensive.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Yeah, very, very.
So that is to say that nobody should come knocking because.
I mean, you are right. It's good. You save notice to the public.
No, it's important.
Yeah,
It is very, very important. Sometimes when the people knock on your door and you're unable to come to their aid, they think that you are this guy is, you know, he's a wicked guy. He doesn't want to come to our aid. They don't know.
It's not the same people. They say you are in power, so you must have money.
Oh, but
and then they end up saying that you steal. Because if you say the person must have money, you mean that you should steal.
That is clearly
you get a point. So
anyway, Mali's leader promises new election timetable. That is the African story we're starting with, and I want to start with you, Yiremambo Musa.
Yeah, well, a very good morning to your cherished viewers. Very good morning to all CVP members. Good morning to Chair and Leader. Good morning to Ajia Hamdatu, where I'm sitting in for. Kwame, this Mali issue is long overdue. I believe when the coup happened in May 2021, ECOWAS suspended them, and now they have a roadmap to lead them back to the democratic path. But you see, we've seen this over and over again, and I believe it is about time. We always talk about ECOWAS. They should have some standing orders. When you suspend a member state, you should then give him the timelines on his path. You don't wait for them then to also generate their own path and bring it to you that, well, we want to get back to constitutional path from January next year. When that happens, the time will get very close. Then they'll come out with a press conference again that has been postponed, that they need to settle certain, you know, arrangements security-wise before they can implement any democratic, policies or other things. So these things have been happening over the years, and I believe, look, African leaders, we've been saying this over and over again. ECOWAS, especially our sub-region. Unfortunately, when you look across Africa, we are one of the most notorious sub-regions for coup d'etats. And I believe that it's about time we find very strict measures in ensuring that these things don't happen. And you can tie it in with the economic hardship within the sub-region. Not only in the sub-region, even within the African continent. As you see, it is a national security threat across the sub-region where majority of the masses of the people cannot make 3 square meals a day. It's a national security in every country, and ours, which is Ghana, is not an exception. And I believe that economically, this is what our leaders should think around. Now look, we are seeing all this uprising. Yes, it is the military which is doing it, but the time will come, there will be civil unrest because the people feel that, look, the political class has been unable to match up their expectations. And you can see it happening in bits across the sub-region. And this is a very serious thing. I believe all of us, despite our political colors, to rethink and find a path which is sustainable, to sustain our democracy and find a path to be able to create jobs for the teeming youth of African youth which are upcoming. And Kwame, if we're able to do that, and we have plans in place, strategic plans, which is about 10, 15, 20 years plan, as ECOWAS on how to deal with unemployment, how to deal with security threats and other things, I believe we'll move smoothly. But if we sit aloof and wait for us to be confronted with such problems before acting, then in fact we have a long way to go.
Right. Let's look at the causes of the current coup d'etats that we've been seeing. I mean, if you look at the one which happened in Guinea, for instance, I think that Doumbouya has been sworn in.
Yes.
As the leader of the country, and it's so far so good.
Well,
so far so good.
Well, that is what so far so good.
Now, in Mali, you know, they have indicated that they want to bring out a new timetable, etc. But clearly, this is not the first time. And it appears that the reasons cited for always attempting or either succeeding at a coup d'etat are prevailing.
Precisely.
So how then can we be sure, or how then can we be certain that going forward, whichever leader emerges will try, as far as feasible, to ameliorate the challenges, which challenges have always been the pivot around which coup d'etats are orchestrated?
Yes. Well, nobody should ever subscribe to any coup. We don't support any coup of any kind. Whether it had good intent or purpose, it is still a wrongful act. We chose this path as a continent to a part of democratic elections, and we believe that that should be the line we should follow. Now, when these coups happen, within the shortest possible time, you could see that yes, there are shortcut measures they are putting in place to be able to control the situation, as in the hardship within the country. But moving forward, after 1 year, all will fall apart again. So Kwame, I don't see Guinea's new leader chopping more success after a year. The eminent challenges which faces the continent will still be staring in space, because we need a systematic approach and a plan as a continent to deal with such things. So for me, whether coup or no coup, these situations will still prevail until we sit around the table as Africans and see that we Africans will have the solution to African problems without looking to the West, and make sure we put plans, not only manifestos, sustainable development plans for a country and also for the sub-region. Then we find a way to sync them together. When that is done, that is where we have a clear path towards developing our countries. But without that, coup or no coup, the circumstances remain same.
Second Salia.
Yeah.
You know, following from the submission of Yirimambo Moses Amben, it's quite clear that it appears that we've all thrown our hands in despair.
Yeah.
Particularly because we have not been able to deal with all the issues, which issues, you know, create some of these conditions, you know, for coup d'etats to happen. We may be fortunate as Ghanaians, or, you know, we may be fortunate within the sub-region not to have been involved in the 21st century coup d'etat. But clearly, all of these conditions still prevail.
Yeah.
Now, democracy, you know, as has been described by many, is the way to go. However, democracy is also seen as a way of expressing some form of dictatorship, you know, in its truest sense of the word. That when the people get to the echelons, you know, become the echelons of whatever, they forget the masses who put them there. They forget to address the fundamental teething challenges confronting the people. And oftentimes when the people get fed up, they have absolutely nothing to do than to rebel. And so, given the fact that our democracy is thriving, albeit not because of some, you know, special, what's it called, leadership that we've had, you know, but by reason of the contentment of the Ghanaian people, don't you think that perhaps it's about time we did things within a proper framework, so that going forward we will not see some of these things, because people are getting really fed up now. And the more people get fed up, the more they mass up, because if all of their material conditions are similar, then you would expect that once they get a radical person to lead them, then we are heading for doom.
Yeah, thank you.
And that is what appears to have happened in Guinea, Mali, and all of these other African countries.
Yeah. Thank you, Kwame. Good morning to our cherished viewers. Let me take this opportunity to greet the African of the Year. That's the ECOWAS chairman, Nana Danko Akufo-Addo. His sterling leadership is so palpable. He has shown that, indeed, he was the one Ghana have missed for a very, very long time, owing to all the good things that he's doing. I think that kudos to him. But with the Mali situation, I mean, you said a lot. If you look at the Mali situation, you could see that these are a group of people who are not prepared to even hand over power. That is one. Secondly, by even dint of the fact that they came through coup d'etat, tells you that these are not people who are democratic. And therefore, we want to use every excuse, every little excuse, in order to perpetuate their stay. You talk about conditions rise in almost all African countries for coup and all those things. And that even in democratic countries, you still see some modicum of undemocratic situations and all that. And it is democracy, you see. There is quite a difference between a democratic country and a country that practices constitutionalism. You know that. You can be a democratic country and still not practice constitutionalism.
Absolutely.
Because if the checks and balances are not there. For instance, I mean, in the 60s and all that, under the regime of Kwame, and we all know that the unfettered powers that were given to him, even by the Constitution.
Till today?
Yeah. No, I'm coming. Because the trajectory that we have moved, I mean, there has been progress. Because if you give power to an individual that is not checked in any way, the person is bound to abuse those powers. And in those days of Kwame Nkrumah, you all know, number one, I mean, I'm not here to condemn Kwame Nkrumah. I'm just, just opposing the transition, where we've come from and all that. Even today, you can see some powers, I mean, that have been given to the president, and people complain about those powers. But we have moved on. Those days, the president can sack the Chief Justice. The president can declare one-party state. The president can do so many things.
Oh, no,
nobody declared one party.
Oh, the president couldn't.
There was a decree. Okay, Parliament declared. Okay, those powers have been taken by this particular one, Constitution that we are practicing. Those powers have been taken away from Parliament and all that. Those days, the president can even distool chiefs. And those powers have been taken away and all that. There are so many powers that have been taken away. And to the extent that you can have certain policies, for instance, the PDA, that the president can, whimsically sign.
It was the Parliament of the PDA. I thought Nkrumah never did anything.
Oh, listen. That is what I'm saying. That it is not Parliament that signed. If the PDA, it is the president.
It was debated.
Listen, it's the president, and it's the president that will sign that this person, by his behavior, he posed a national threat.
Yeah,
he woke out one day to do that because he was a prime minister. He was a prime minister. Listen.
I want to know where Saka is going.
No, he was a prime minister, and he controlled Parliament then. He was a prime minister.
I'm saying PDA was not the president.
He orchestrated all these things.
When the PDA
that's the reason why I was telling you that it is not to condemn.
I understand, but I want to set the record straight.
You are not setting anything.
No.
What you are doing, you are not setting any record.
When the PDA was passed,
please.
I'm just stating the facts.
Please. I am saying when you said when the PDA was.
No, he was not the prime minister. Then he was a president.
When did he become a president?
In 1960.
Do you know that the PDA escalated in 1964? Or you don't know that? Listen. No, listen.
You were saying that when you were.
Can you let me talk?
And I'm saying that
can you let me talk? I am saying that the PDA in 1964 was amended. And that time Kwame Nkrumah was the president of this country. So what's your problem? What is your problem?
You said when it was passed when Nkrumah was prime minister, and I said no. When he was president, I was correcting you.
Let me tell you. In 1958, when was Kwame Nkrumah? Was he not the prime minister? No. Answer the question. Don't say no.
Go on.
In 1958, when the PDA was passed, was he not the prime minister?
I'm rather helping you.
I am asking you a question. The viewers are listening.
I'm giving you the right
answer. You are not giving any facts.
Guys, let's have it.
I'm asking you a simple question.
You finish.
You are simply organized.
I'll give you.
Don't give me just answer question.
I'll give you.
Answer this question.
I am not
pretending.
In
1958,
you don't know what you're talking about.
Let me make his point.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Hold on.
PDA was passed in 1958.
Remember.
Okay, sir.
I'm shocked. I'm going on. So let me talk. I'm going on. I'm going on. So listen. I am shocked that an organizer, national organizer.
Why?
Let me talk. I am shocked that you see, I am shocked that the national organizer of the CBC does not know when the PDA was passed.
Don't worry.
The PDA was passed in 1958.
You finish.
It was passed in 1958 and it was amended in 1964. Don't sit here and pretend to know everything.
No problem.
So just because you are CPP,
you finish.
I'm finishing, so don't interrupt.
I don't know.
If you interrupt, you expose yourself. So that is the reason why she. That is the reason why.
With respect, I want to understand the nexus between
the
Malian issue.
That is the reason why. I was making a point by when you said that. Oh, I mean, conditions are rife because it's like we have given our faith to a president who has so much power and they are doing anything with it. And I just wanted to just give you where we came from, the powers that were given to our first president and all that, and the various constitutions that came afterwards. We decided to remove all those powers. And today, so it is still work in progress. So there will be, because people are still complaining that the powers given to the president is so much. And these are some of the reasons why people, do coups and all those things, because they believe that their aspirations are not being met, and some of them just came on the bandwagon of just selfishness. Some of them are just selfish individuals who want to take, power by force, and then do whatever that they want to do with it. So there's no excuse for any coup d'etat. And especially what is even worrying to me is the fact that when there is a coup d'etat and you are successful, it is not illegal. Any successful coup d'etat is a legal coup d'etat. If it's unsuccessful, then it means that it is illegal. And that is my problem. And even the constitutions, when the constitutions have not even preferred solutions to people who plan coup, because the very moment they overthrew a government or overthrow a government, then they will come and suspend the constitution and all those things. I think it's a problem, because if maybe some of the transitional provisions that we put, we should not do A, B, C, D, we should allow things to stand and all those things, are the reasons why in most African countries we still have coups. Because if you have a coup and then there's a counter coup, and you are dealt with, I don't think that other people will even harbor the idea of always going for a coup, no matter the reason. Because look, every regime has problems. There is no regime under this Fourth Republican Constitution that you will say that there are no reason for anybody to do coup. But there are always remedies. If maybe somebody is a dictator, or if somebody, even if the president himself is not doing what he's supposed to do. I mean, the Article 69 is there. We always have remedies to ensure. Kwame, we always have remedies to ensure that we right the wrongs. The remedy or the channel of ensuring that the right thing is done is not through coup d'etat. And I think that Ghana have blazed a trail. And those countries like the Guineas of this world, the Malis and all those things, should have looked at Ghana. Because we have gone through all these coup d'etat regimes. And we have come to the conclusion that that is not the way to go. It has sent us back. And therefore, if any selfish leader just come and say that, the leader was not doing the proper thing and therefore want to ox him, who gave you that right to come and overthrow somebody just because you, in your estimation, feel that the person is not doing? And for instance, like Ghana here, every opposition member believes that the government is not doing well. Every opposition member. Once you are in opposition, for you, your thinking is always negative. If you are in government, your thinking is always positive. Whatever the government does is in the right direction. So to the opposition, there is always, a propitious moment to strike.
So when you're in opposition, that's what you're thinking.
I mean, I'm telling you the reality. I don't ask. I'm telling you the realities. You get a point. Once you oppose to the government, you feel that, coup is imminent. You feel that, they are not doing the right thing. And at any point in time, you can do the unthinkable. And just the opposite when somebody is also in power. So for me, I don't think that coup d'etat is the way to go. Because we cannot all think the same. Go to parliament and see what they are doing over there. Almost the house divided. And these people feel that they are right. Others also feel that they are also right. So these people will feel that, coup is the way to go. So I think that once you decide to embrace democracy, you should embrace it in all its forms, not partially. Like, I mean, if you are a Christian, I don't think that you can pick and choose, pick cherry. I mean, which part of the Bible you want, or which part you believe in. Just like in Islam, if you believe in Islam, you believe the Quran from chapter 1 to the last chapter, to the 114th chapter. Just the same way, if you are a Christian, you believe from chapter 1 to chapter 66. Or how many chapters are in the Bible? So so that is how it is. You cannot choose. I believe in and that is in democracy. Because you might have your reservations, but once once we have all gone to sit down and decide that these are the way to go, until such a provision is amended, we are all bound by it. So don't go and use different means to come and prefer a solution to a democratic regime. So for me, I think that no matter what the people of Mali, those coup makers are doing there, they are just, it's just a delay tactics to buy time. Look at even the timetable. The timetable is still to come in on 31st of next year. Just timetable. So we don't even know whether the timetable will also be next year again. Okay. Just timetable.
We will surely postpone.
So it doesn't make sense to me.
Saka, thank you very much. But Danso's arguments about Nkrumah and the fact that he has to gather so much power and things like that, and but he was able to remove chief justices and things like that. Even today, who has the power to remove a chief justice?
It is spelled in the Constitution.
Absolutely.
Article 146.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
who has the power?
No. The power
is the power to remove an electoral commissioner.
No. The power is not given to one person.
But the power wasn't given to Nkrumah alone.
Nkrumah had the power. He had the power. No, as of now, no single person has the power. For instance, the Council of State is involved.
Let me tell you.
There should be a petitioner.
Let me tell you.
There should be a petitioner.
Has there been?
There has to be a prima facie case. There has to be a committee that will be set.
You remember, respectfully.
And the committee from now.
Has there been any time?
Yes.
Since the Fourth Republic.
Yes.
Where Ghana practices an executive system of governance, where the Council of State or elders have ever gone against the wishes of any president before, ever. State one.
Well, I'm not. Listen. Never. No. They might go against. No, don't say never. I'm coming.
I'm telling you.
Oh no. You have made a point. Let me explain to you.
Tell me one.
The Council of State. You do know that they meet the president all the time, and in most cases. The advice they give to the president does not come out. Oh. So I'm 100% sure that there are certain things that they advise against the president against.
So you didn't advise the president against the removal of Charlotte Osei? They didn't advise the president against the removal of Charlotte Osei?
No, the removal
of the Auditor General?
No. The removal of Charlotte Osei. The removal of Charlotte Osei. It's not in the Constitution.
Yes, no problem.
At
the time when they use it,
so the removal of Charlotte Osei, the Council of State has no hand in that one.
At the time, the
Constitution never mentioned Council of State. It's only the Chief Justice.
Yes.
So the Council of State cannot advise because the president himself is not the petitioner.
At the time, but who was the petitioner? Even in the removal of Charlotte Osei,
a petitioner. Some people came. The workers of the Electoral Commission.
Name them.
Some group of people.
Let's move on.
No, I just want to put on record.
It's okay.
I just want to put on record that Nkrumah did nothing without the law. Whatever he did.
But that is what I'm saying.
So let me add your point. Whatever he did, he used the law. So later,
so that was not constitutionalism.
That sometimes there are a lot of people who have views. But when the majority says that this is the way we want to go, it is fine.
What is in the same way. So you define your constitution. When there are checks and balances.
When there are checks and balances.
But we have parliament.
No. Parliament in itself is not.
Because constitutionalism operates with the rule of law.
Yes, of course.
That is the
but you see, you can have a democracy.
Yes.
Where powers given to president or somebody's are not checked.
How?
So you can have an undemocratic government.
When you are in opposition, you might think that there are no checks.
You make that analysis.
Because you make the analysis that whenever you are in opposition, you disagree.
No, you see, it is not about opinion.
Yes.
It's about the institutions
yes.
that are put in place to do the checks and balances,
yes.
or the procedures
yes.
that are put in place to, or the substantive matters.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? Yes. So it's not about an opinion that somebody opinion about those institutions. Those days, I'm not saying that we didn't have institutions,
would you agree
but those institutions were not strong enough to advise the president against some of the things.
Hold on.
Oh yes.
Saka, would you agree with me?
Strong enough.
Now they are strong enough.
Would you agree with me? Would you agree with me? You're talking about the fact that if you have one leader who does not, for instance, have any form of checks and balances and things like that, clearly they take decisions which are inimical to the development of
yes.
But for instance, Dubai, they don't have parliament,
but they have a way.
But they have a visionary leader.
They have a way.
If you just came out from colonialism or came out of colonialism, right? And you are struggling to bring the country together. All the decisions which Nkrumah took is what we are benefiting from now. If you look at why now, no Ghanaian has ever boldly said that we want coup d'etat. It's because Nkrumah found a way of unique.
Are you saying since Nkrumah we never had coup d'etat?
Oh no! I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
So
what I'm saying is that you see the relationship right now that we've built. It doesn't matter whether you are from the
it's not after this relationship. It's not even Nkrumah.
Hold on. But
it's even Rawlings.
What was who started building? Who started creating the boarding school system, which brought everybody under?
Are you saying that we never had boarding school system until Kwame Nkrumah came into the scene?
How many schools were in existence?
Oh, it's not about how many schools. We're talking about boarding schools.
No, there was a deliberate.
Are you saying Kwame Nkrumah started boarding schools?
No, hold on. Everything which was
even the colonial era, there were boarding schools.
How many schools were in
It is not about how many.
It is not
we are talking about a system. Whether the system was in existence.
We are not arguing.
Appropriate certain things.
We are not arguing.
Yes.
What I'm saying is that even if there existed boarding schools at the time,
yes,
what was the intent and purpose for the creation of same? Nkrumah's purpose for specifically expanding the boarding school system was to bring cohesion.
So even before Nkrumah expansion, it was still cohesion under the colonial regime.
But you know the intent and purpose for the creation of those.
Even under the colonial regime, that was the intention and purpose.
For what?
To bring about cohesion.
Cohesion.
Yeah, national cohesion and all those things.
So how many people waited for me? Who look at
if they had cohesion from the north, if they had cohesion, hold on. If they had cohesion, would they be talking about Martino? You say here?
Even today there's Martino. But did you know that? Even today there's Martino. Political parties divided on ethnic.
Don't mind him.
Ashanti
Don't mind him.
Muslim based.
Don't mind him. He knows it. He knows it.
Put them together.
He knows it.
No, come on.
Let's move on.
That was when the law avoidance of discrimination.
Because you see, because independence did not emanate from the quarters of the Danko Buzia tribe.
So you are wrong by saying that it did not emanate because they started the independence.
They didn't finish it.
But they started.
Right now, you people are telling me
they
that
started and finished it.
No, right now,
because it was through their instrumentality that Kwame even came into the scene. It was through they brought Kwame Nkrumah to fight on their
because they saw what the young man is made.
Yes, because they were serious. They were serious. They were serious about it. They employed him.
Okay, so
the young man was too.
Who built the ACP interchange?
Well, I mean, you see. Let me explain.
Well, I have the question. Who built the Pogasi interchange?
Was built by Leonardo Danko.
Thank you very much. It's okay.
Yes.
But it's okay.
Yes.
You don't have any back.
Yes.
You have just indicated that.
So Leonardo Danko built it.
No problem.
So what's your problem?
But you know the genesis of it.
Yeah, no, because I know that the funding started from the field of the NBC.
It's okay, but the glory is there.
Yeah, the drawing. Why did you say that? Yeah, the drawing was in another Danko because we redesigned it. But we redesigned it. You know what? In the
time for independence, no glory for Nkrumah.
No, I never said that Nkrumah should not be given any glory. But I am saying that it is the instrumentality of
So why did you prefix your...
That brought Kwame Nkrumah to help fight it.
Who made Pokwasi interchange?
Pokwasi.
Yes.
I am saying that Nana Addo Dankwa built it.
Thank you very much.
If you are told, if your question was, your question was to be, who brought the money for Pokwasi interchange, my answer would have been different.
Who
built it? Is
Nana Addo Dankwa independence for Ghana?
Who gained
independence for Ghana?
Well, I mean, listen. Kwame Nkrumah has been the first president of Ghana.
What is so difficult about this?
Is it not Kwame Nkrumah?
So what's the problem? You say, let's give credit where it is.
Yeah, Kwame, the reason why I'm saying this is, you know Kwame Nkrumah, you know, that Kwame Nkrumah was appointed as the president.
Brother,
he was not elected as president. So I am saying that if somebody is appointed to become the president, doesn't make...
Appointed by who?
Don't you know the history of this country? Did he win an election to become the president? I'm asking you, did he win election? Did he win? No, answer the question. Don't come.
He won an election.
In 1957. No, I'm talking about 1957.
This is the same argument.
I'm not talking about 1951 or 1954. Those elections were not presidential elections. Those elections, those were, it was not elected. No, it was not. It was not. It was not. It was not presidential elections. It was not presidential. Let's get a day for some of these things.
Let's proceed.
You see, I'm not talking about Dankwa here. I'm not talking about Dankwa here.
Dankwa told them. Dankwa told the UGCC that if all your members will fail you, Kwame Nkrumah will never fail you.
So it means that this was an honest person. It means that this was an honest person who helped to bring Kwame Nkrumah to.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's proceed. As for Pokwasi interchange, Akufo-Addo built it. But as for independence, somebody had to bring it home.
But you know, he meant those.
No, I mean, yeah, if you ask me questions, simple questions.
You don't see the things very well.
What an interesting country. Let's proceed. One teacher, one laptop deductions. Teacher unions to demonstrate. That's on the front page of the newspaper. And if I may, with your leave, let me read a little bit of the messages. Teacher union in the country under the umbrella group, the All Teachers Alliance Ghana, ATAG, have said they intend to embark on demonstration this Wednesday, December 15th, to drum home their concerns over the one teacher, one laptop deductions by the government through the Ghana Education Service. According to the chairman of the All Teachers Alliance Ghana, Emmanuel Ufori, teachers' pension were used to procure the purported laptops to be given teachers, and that the laptops were to be supplied per quarter or 3 months. Sir, can you hear with me, please?
Yeah, yes.
Over 6 months, adding up to 175,000 units per quarter. This, he said, was contrary to what was agreed on in the MOU, where the teacher unions agreed that KA Technologies was meant to supply customized laptops to the teacher unions to its members in 3 equal terms within 12 months, and the estimated cost of the laptops is 1,500 Ghana cedis, including technical training in the application of ICT devices in teaching at a press briefing in Accra yesterday. Isaac Ofori said the cost of a unit laptop is not 1,550 as put in the public domain, but rather 1,200 with an additional 300 Ghana cedis, serving the component of the IT technical training upon reception of the machine. The teacher unions, he reiterated, agreed to absorb 30% cost components of the laptops and later took a U-turn to target the teachers' professional allowance, claiming that they negotiated for it for teachers. Due to the discrepancies in an MOU signed between some teacher unions and the Ghana Education Service, ATAC has slated December 15th, 2021 to demonstrate against all the brouhaha surrounding the one teacher, one laptop initiative. I thought that government of Ghana was procuring those laptops for teachers to aid them in their teaching. I didn't know that they were going to be deducted. Saka, was it communicated from the outset? Deducted?
Yeah.
Was it communicated from the outset that that was the
Yeah, of course.
Government?
Yeah,
I
of course.
see.
It was communicated to,
But I wouldn't buy a laptop for 1,550 Ghana cedis.
Why?
Because I can get a laptop that is cheaper than that.
And you can get a laptop that is also higher than that.
Oh yeah, that functions properly.
Do you know that they sell laptops about 10,000, some 6,000, some 4,000?
I agree with you.
Even the last time the NDC government actually wanted to provide some, it was about 3,000. So if you are talking about you will not buy 1,500 laptop, you buy a cheaper one. I don't know what these people would have been telling you. But the fact of the matter is that this group of teacher union that we talk about is just playing politics.
The teacher unions are playing politics.
Mean, that particular what's the name?
ATAG.
What is that? what?
Alliance for Teachers.
Alliance for.
But they have so many.
Come on.
All Teachers Alliance Ghana.
All Teachers Alliance Ghana and all those things. I mean, the leadership is just playing politics, and I'm shocked. Look,
as you've always been.
Yeah, I'm shocked. What is their concern? The thing that you read, what exactly did they even mean? What did they mean? What is their problem? They talk as if government should change somebody. This is the union themselves that decided that they need these laptops. They went and then brought their proposal to government, and then they came out with the MOU, and then even the procurement process was led by the unions themselves. And then they felt that maybe they were left out or so. I don't know what emanated from all these things that they are doing. Whether they were left out and they did not get what they wanted or what. And now all of a sudden, they just jump and started talking. And even when they are making, you even get exactly what they are talking about. Number one, we know that it is government that provide 100%. No teacher, any teacher can come and disprove me that he has contributed a penny for this laptop. No teacher has contributed 1 CD for the procurement of this laptop. Government provided everything from A to Z. What government did was that for the first time, I mean, under this government, we have what we call the professional development allowance. You see, when the teachers brought it, they said, okay, government and the teachers should share the costs. And that government should take 70% of the cost, and then the teachers will bear 30% of the cost. But government found that, I mean, why should we allow a poor teacher to go and use his own money to, procure these laptops when government could do it? Because especially we are doing the new curriculum, and we need teachers to ensure that their lesson notes and everything is embedded in the computers. We also want to ensure that the professional allowance, the professional development allowance that government introduced. Government just introduced professional development allowance. The allowance should be able to cater for the part of the contribution of the teachers. Because look, the allowance is not meant for Christmas. Yesterday I was speaking with a teacher friend. He said, this allowance, the way cracker, the allowance was not meant for Bronya. The allowance is to ensure that your professional development is enhanced. And then government found a way to ensure that that allowance and the purpose for which the allowance is met can be channeled through your contribution. Government did not deduct the contribution of the teachers from their salaries or any other allowance of the teachers, but from the professional development allowance that government itself had just introduced. And government said, okay, your part of the contribution, which is about 520 or so, we will deduct that one, we will use that one, and then you will still even have change. About 600 will still be given to the teachers. But the 1,200 will be part of the 30% contribution of the teachers. And that was exactly what was done. And if you look at the quality of the laptop, it is not in doubt. It's one of the best in the system. It might not be the common ones that maybe you know. And if you look at even if you look at even the warranty that was given, 2 years warranty. 2 years. Within the 2 years, if you have any problem with the laptop, you are at liberty to send it to GES. Just give it to your headmaster. The headmaster will give it to your district director, and then it will come to GES. They will either replace it for you, or they will have the responsibility to fix it for you. And since the inception of this whole process, I mean, since they started giving it, about 40,000 has already been given to the teachers. No teacher, not even a single teacher has come out to say that, oh, they have problem with the laptop or something. So that is the reason why some of us are asking the question. What really is the problem? Number one, it has been subsidized, it's cheap. Secondly, it's durable, it's one of the best in the system. Thirdly, 2-year warranty for 2 whole years. If you have problem with the laptop, bring it. Nobody has come out yet. The teachers did not use their money to do the contribution. It had to take the government of Ghana, the development, professional development allowance that government introduced. This is not even an existing allowance before this government came. This government came and said that we want to develop you, professionally, and we'll be giving you annually an allowance. And this allowance is not for, it's not meant for Brunya. It is to channel to your professional development. And this is the best time for us to tap onto that allowance in order. And now if you go to some of these schools, they don't have problem with teaching. Teaching. I mean, like lesson notes and all those things are already part of the of the laptop. And then somebody just come out and say that he doesn't understand, and then he's giving some frivolous reasons.
Were there previous conversations about the cost of the laptop with the teachers? Because if you have provided annual funding for the purposes of advancing their teaching skills or whatever.
Their professional development.
Personal and professional development, right?
Not personal. I mean, their professional development.
If you develop their personal development, it affects them. Their personal.
No, when you say personal, it encompasses everything.
No. But
including the Brunya.
Let me use your word for it. Professional development.
Yes. They are not, so don't use personal.
But they are not animals who are developing.
No, personal is not.
They are individuals.
They are professional.
The individual is a person.
You see, if you are developing, different angle of the individual personality, which is not professional, it is not part. That money is not part of it.
So the professional development of teachers
to teach the teacher how to dance.
Were there previous conversations prior to, the procurement of these laptops for them? We intend to procure this laptop for you. We are using this company for the purpose of the procurement. This is the brand of laptop that we're going to be procuring for you. This is how much it's going to cost. And we're going to use the money set aside for your annual professional development to make those payments. Were those conversations?
Yeah, the government dealt with the unions, the union leadership. That the teacher unions, NAT and all those people. And you don't expect government or the ministry or whatever to go to the village and go and call the teachers in a meeting and be talking to them. That one is the responsibility of the unions. So once government is dealing with the unions, it presupposes that government is dealing with the teachers at home or in a whole. But that question that you ask, so to some extent, it means that government actually, informed them through their leadership, so they are aware.
Which leadership? Because
yes,
all teachers must belong to some union. Now, if you have a fraction of teachers who are supposed to belong to some union coming out to indicate that they were not informed,
is it their contention that they were not informed?
Well, pre-informed about, for instance, the company, because you see, they speak
so
about.
So what is their problem?
They speak about procurement breaches, for instance, is one of the fundamental things.
What was the problem with the procurement breach? What was the problem with the procurement?
That sole sourcing was employed for the purposes of procuring these laptops.
So what's their problem? Is it illegal to sole source?
But is it no under your regime?
No, don't say that. I'm asking a simple question. Are you asking me to hold on?
But when you use sole source in Saka, what was the emergency?
I'm asking.
We use sole source.
Sole source is not only under emergency situation.
So under what circumstances?
There are so many circumstances that sole source.
Give me
one. If you have a company that has a sole expertise in a particular field that you want to assess, you can sole source. You understand what I'm saying?
And in this particular case, KA technology.
I mean, it's
they had never undertaken any form.
No.
So what are you referring to? So
I'm giving you circumstances.
No, you are giving me some. But I'm asking you questions based on the circumstances.
I'm giving you circumstances that sole source can be used.
Yes.
And I told you that if you have expertise that is scarce
in the supply of laptops.
Oh, I'm talking. I mean, I'm not talking about only that one. There are so many reasons why sole source can be used. Sole source.
You are a law student.
Oh, no. Kwame.
The facts must be. You are relating what you are saying. Saka. You are relating what you are saying to the facts. And I'm saying that everything that. So, for instance, you are telling me when we can use sole sourcing. And we cannot make those statements in isolation. We need to necessarily relate it to the current situation, which is why I'm asking you that you are saying that you can sole source when somebody has an expertise, right?
Yes.
And the question is, so are we
not
saying
just having expertise?
One of them. That is one of them.
No, it's not having it. You see, when you tractate it that way, somebody will say that
completely.
When somebody has a expertise that is scarce.
That is scarce. Good.
So then you feel that he can best deliver on your behalf.
So it's a supply of laptops to teachers.
I'm saying that is just one. It is just one.
So I'm asking you. On the basis of the one example that you've given,
it's just one.
I will ask you questions based on the number of reasons. So first of all, let's deal with this particular one.
Yes.
You are saying that when they have an expertise that is scarce, and I'm asking you that in the procurement and supply of laptops, are we saying that expertise is so scarce that the only company that we could employ for the purpose of being seen is KA Technology, which in the past has no track record?
No.
In the supply and the procurement of laptops.
When you say no track record,
no track record
in Ghana, don't say no track record.
Where?
No, don't say no track record.
Show me that track record.
Don't say no track record.
I am saying no track record.
You don't
do me otherwise.
You see, that's the reason why I was telling you that. It looks as if people are just, it is not Dell, it is not there. So because of that, because these are the companies that we know. So every supply or every transaction must come from these
what laptop do you use for the purpose of your education? What laptop do you use?
Don't ask me.
What laptop
don't
do you
ask me which one I use.
I am asking you.
Don't ask me which one I use.
What laptop?
I don't even use laptop.
You use laptop?
No, but you know
which one do you use?
Don't force
you are sitting on national television.
Don't force me to use laptop.
And as a staunch Muslim, as a staunch Muslim, you are not supposed to lie. And I'm asking you, what laptop do you use?
Don't worry about the laptop I use. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. But I'm saying,
yes, sir.
Procurement has not been breached. That is number one. Sole sourcing is not an illegality.
I need a pen.
It is part and parcel of the procurement laws. You can sole source, you can do competitive bidding and all that. Depending on the circumstance that you find yourself. If you feel this is the best way to go, why not? So is that their problem, that it was sole source and because of that, well, the people should cry?
Their argument is that.
So what's their problem?
The argument you are advancing about the fact that there's nothing wrong with sole sourcing is valid. There's absolutely nothing wrong with sole sourcing when certain conditions are prevailing.
Yes.
Now, you have indicated to us here and now that when there are some circumstances, which circumstances do not allow for competitive bidding, then we can opt for sole sourcing. Yes. One of such is that when you have a company which has an expertise in providing a service which is scarce,
yes,
or they have an expertise, in providing a service which is scarce, then we can opt for sole sourcing, which is one of the examples that
an emergency situation.
In an emergency situation, another. And I'm asking you a very fundamental question.
You can select.
Yes.
You can do selective tendering too.
Absolutely. Those options are all.
And then the selective.
The teachers are telling you.
Selective. You can do eliminations.
Absolutely.
Based on.
Absolutely. The teachers are telling you.
Not teachers.
Hold on.
Some minority group within the teacher union.
But who are they? Are they not teachers?
I don't say don't bother.
Are they not teachers?
They are just less than 10% of the teacher union.
So they are students. It makes them students.
So
it makes them students.
In democratic country or democratic institutions,
yes,
when the larger group decides on something, that is the way to go.
In your context, which is the larger group?
The overall, I mean the NAT,
how do you know
NAT and the graduate teachers?
But you have elements people who belong to NAT, NAGET, and all those forming part of the All Teachers Alliance. That is what it is. So you cannot say that even if you are looking at a larger group, I will even say that All Teachers Alliance Ghana is even bigger than UTAG and NAT, because UTAG and NAT is just a section of the people. UTAG, University Teachers Association of Ghana, NAT, Ghana National Association of Teachers. All teachers, hold on.
They said graduate teachers.
GRASAC, that's GRASAC.
Yes.
But I'm saying that this one is not just graduate teachers. This one is not just university teachers. This is All Teachers Alliance Ghana.
And how many people belong to them?
Absolutely. So that's the second.
How many people do they have?
Now it should tell you that if you say All Teachers Alliance, which means that
it is in
you
the
will
name.
have. Hold on.
It is just in the
which
name.
Means that you
like
will,
today you can form an association and call it the larger national interest. Just form an association, give it any name.
Saka, I'm saying that the people who are making these demands are teachers, and they have.
I'm not saying they are not teachers.
Hold on, you just said they are not teachers because they are. Just
I'm not saying they are not teachers.
That's what you
I
said.
am saying that they are teachers. They are teachers, but the larger group of teachers have decided.
Saka, you have indicated to
and
us.
And they are just dissenting.
Saka, you have indicated to us when you can show source.
Yes.
You have given reasons.
Yes.
For which somebody may want some reasons.
Yes.
For which somebody may want to. And I'm saying that I am asking you a question on the basis of your own answers that you've given to us.
Yes.
That what was the emergency? That number one. That are you suggesting that the supply of laptops is such a scarce activity that we couldn't have, asked for competitive?
Another reason could also be the pricing, even though maybe competitive can.
Fantastic. And it's one of the issues. One of the things they've also raised is that it is far expensive competitively on the market.
And I'm saying that if you go to the market, this is the cheapest. You yourself know that. The laptop I bought. I have it. The laptop I bought is over 3,000. Over 3,000. But you see, it's over 3,000. And then it can buy 2 of this. But in terms of durability, and they did not even give me warranty.
So what did you
The warranty they gave me was just for a week or so. Somebody is giving you 2 years. If this thing spoil within 2 years, bring it.
All right. Let me come to you. Let me come to you.
Those Bells and those HP and those ones.
Which one do you use?
I'm coming. Those ones that you talk about.
Yes.
Can they give you a warranty for even 1 year?
Yes.
Depending on where.
Yes, depending on where you buy it from, you get a warranty. Yes. I bought a fridge. The fridge I bought, I had 2 years warranty. I said you get 2 years. For example, you get 5 years warranty. So that is the complaint of the students. Now let me. I think that my producer Bless is doing some fantastic work here, aiding the conversation. Now,
okay,
I'm coming to you, but let me just read this. That Saka is looking at Bless. Today you are dead. Today.
Whether he's doing it out of malice or
no, not out of malice.
I know that he's very.
According to
he's not like my friend.
Which friend?
My friend and brother. He's not like Justice.
Okay, according to them, there were procurement breaches in sole sourcing. The one teacher, one laptop contract to KA Technologies Limited. They are also saying that it is legal and unfair for government to use teachers' annual continuous professional development allowances in funding part of the laptops. Now, the company tasked to provide the laptops have no certification from the Ghana Standards Authority. They are demanding the contract to be annulled on grounds that it is contrary to sections 40 A, B, C, D, and E of the Public Procurement Act of 2003, Act 663. The innovative teachers president alleged that despite a court injunction barring the deductions from the teachers' annual continuous professional development allowances, they have gone ahead to do so. Clearly, these are justifiable grounds on which anybody can act.
Say what? There's a court injunction.
That is what they are saying.
It's not true.
The innovative, why do you belong to the association now? I didn't know you belong to the association. The association is alleging that despite a court injunction
on what?
Barring, you don't understand the word barring the deductions from the teachers' annual continuous professional development allowance, they have gone ahead to do so. And bless, if you can give me the injunction, which the court, I'll be very happy. So look for the injunction for me. But let me come to you, remember, on this subject matter. I'll come back to you, Saka. So just harbor and anchor your thoughts on some logical grounds. We'll come back to you. But let me come to you, remember, on this subject matter.
Kwame, before I get to that, Saka, really, for your education and the education for our viewers, it's very necessary. I do this. 27th April 1960, there was a general election. Kwame Nkrumah had 1,016,076, representing 89.1%.
What general election?
A general election between here and the JB. I'm coming. JB Danso.
It's a general election.
Yes, general election.
No, but not presidential.
It's presidential elections.
Oh,
it's 1960 Ghanaian presidential election. Okay, JB Dankwa United Party had 124,623, representing 10.9%. So it was a landslide victory for.
I'm saying, I was talking about even 1957.
No. You said 1960. The president was appointed.
No,
and I'm giving you.
I didn't say 1960.
That's what he said.
No, I said.
For your.
We're talking about independence.
Oh,
and
I think that we should. Yes. So now, with the teachers, Kwame, I was trying to do some digging, and I found out that the price estimate they use for the laptop per head was 1,831. Okay, and of course we all know in comments, if you are buying something in bulk, of course you can bargain for it to come down further.
Yes. Absolutely, yeah.
So something we can be saying, maybe 3,000 can be brought down to this level because of you buying in bulk. And now government is going to absorb 1,300 and the teachers will pay 549. Now I was thinking, what brand of laptops are we acquiring for our teachers? I searched and I saw TM1.
Which one is that one?
I don't know what it is. Well, so I was thinking maybe it is a specialized laptop. So I tried to inquire online whether it is a specialized. I don't see it anywhere in the world. TM1 brand. I don't know where it's coming from. Yeah. And when you look at the RAM, nothing extraordinary. 4 gig RAM, 4 gig, which most of us are even using higher specs. Storage.
Okay, let me read TM1 for you.
Oh, I'm coming.
Okay, no, you say you don't know what it is.
Let me finish.
I'll
give you another opportunity.
Let me show you what it is.
I don't know what it is. Storage, 256 gig. Then the CPU is Celeron N4020, yes, which is a good processor. Now, my beef is very simple. And Saka, he was trying to dodge the questions you are posing to him on the grounds that you don't need any expertise in trying to, supply laptops. With expertise. It is for the Ministry of Education and the teachers to sit down and say, okay, these are the grades of laptops we want. When they sit down and agree on the grades of laptop, then you open it up. For all you know, you have individuals or companies in Ghana here who can supply you better laptops even with a reduced rate from the 1,831 Ghana cedis. Now, you see, in this country, that is why I say we've decided not to plan as a nation. Years back, we had a company in Ghana here. People have, painted that company so black that they have to fold up. We don't even know what is happening to their owners now. RLG laptop, if you could remember. It was a policy for laptops to be given to students, which was a good initiative. All what we needed to do was to ensure that we strengthen that company, that laptop assembling company, for them to live up to modern standards. If we did that way back, I am telling you, today, we would have been a powerhouse when it comes to assembling of laptops. But what did we do as a nation? We left it, even though the company had its own challenges. As an indigenous Ghanaian company, some of us were of the opinion that they should have been supported through technical know-how and other forms of capital investment for them to have lived up to international standards. But that didn't happen. Now, fast forward, we needed to give laptops to teachers. And we need to follow individuals to go and procure laptops from outside, or I don't know where they're getting them from, for our teachers. For us, this is a non-starter. we should by a matter of agency. Now we are in a modern world. There is no way teachers or students will not need computers in trying to gain knowledge or even improve upon their knowledge. It is something which is a prerequisite now in education. So what do we do as a state? We need to ensure that this is a sustainable thing, very sustainable. Meaning that when teachers from rural Ghana, you have issues with the laptop, you should be able to take it to your district where there will be maintenance services across the country for them to attend to you. My brother was talking about 5 years, 2 years guarantee. 2 years guarantee is nothing. We have a lot of, how do you call it, appliances in Ghana here, which are given 5 years or even 10 years. So you said 2 years, you said nothing. And even the way laptops are structured, a very good laptop shouldn't give you a brand new laptop shouldn't give you any problem under 5 years. A very good brand shouldn't give you any problems. I've used a laptop more than 9 years before. It never gave me any problem, a brand new one. So say a 2-year warranty for me is a non-starter. How do you call it? Sucker. So now, the concerned teachers, all teachers association, they have a point. They are saying that yes, the teachers, we would need these laptops to enhance our teaching of the new syllabus. And we are saying that before this deduction should be allowed to go through, we've spotted certain bridges which they are calling on the Ministry of Education to check. And I don't believe that this thing is out of order, Saga. It is not out of order. If you allow the process to go through and there was serious competition among the suppliers, I believe we have had a better deal than what we've gotten today. 1,831 for me. I am buying in bulk. It's too way high.
I am on the website of katechnologiesgh.com. katechnologiesgh.com. Now, if you check their clients, they have only 2 clients.
Government of Ghana or
Ministry of Education, Ghana Education Service. That's all.
So there's no prior record, as you stated earlier.
Yes. And Saka was trying to challenge it.
Maybe you don't know, but now the facts are out. So it is clear that the company we are dealing with doesn't possess any special skill or any expertise in that field to warrant us to source these things to them. It has been established so clearly that there was no need whatsoever for us to do sole sourcing when it came to this procurement of laptops. And that fact has been established vividly by all the materials we're putting together on this show. Now, moving forward, look, the Ministry of Education, they should just swallow their pride and come out and say, look, yes, maybe there are more reasons why we sole source. Because I don't understand. And the reasons that's given, emergency situations, blah, 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 it doesn't fit in any of them. So they should come clear. If it is the cost component, let us know that this was the cheapest we had in the market. Then we'll do proper scrutiny of that. But if it is not so, they should come out clear and tell us. Because what I'm seeing here, the specifications I'm seeing here are nothing so extraordinary. They're nothing so extraordinary. These are laptops with these specs you can get on the market for 1,500 Ghana cedis. I can assure you. And if Saga is challenging me, I can take him to a shopping circle, brand new, I'll get him a laptop. It's not brand new. I said brand new. Either he's going to get an HP laptop, a Dell or a Toshiba for 1,500 with these specs. I can get it for you. 1,500.
Yeah, this is.
No. Actually, no, it is not TV. I can take it to shops and they are going to give you that your 2-year warranty you are so praising. They are going to give it to you. So, Kwame, in brief, in short, I am on the side of the teachers.
I'm also on the website of GhanaEducation.org.
Okay.
GhanaEducation.org. And then the first news that pops up is no data on KA Technologies, Registrar General and GSA review. That's Ghana Standard Authority and Registrar General.
But this is worrying. It's becoming very worrying.
And this was on November 16th, 2021.
Hey, if Ghana Standard Authority...
about November.
Yes.
Okay.
2021.
This year. That's just
a few weeks after.
But for me, this development is then becoming very worrying.
So, I mean, if there's no data on KA, then the question, it begs the question, who owns KA Technologies? I want to know who the owners of KA Technologies are. I want to know.
Well, I mean, I've heard they started a supply And I'll plead with the ministry to halt supply with immediate effect.
Absolutely.
For us to dig in more.
We want to know who the owners of KA
about this activity before.
And Bless, I need you to take this up for me. I want to know who the original owners or the shareholders, you know, of, and even the directors. You see, I want to know the members or the directors of KA Technologies, because that is when everything will be revealed, whether or not we so source by reason of some personal interest or by reason of the interest of the teachers, etc.
Precisely.
Now, even what raises a lot of eyebrows and questions has got to do with the absolute denial by Matthew Opoku Prempeh when he was interviewed, whether or not he was the one who appended his signature for the purposes of this transaction. You recall? And he vehemently
Appended. When you say appended,
signed.
Sign where?
Signed.
You know, there are so many stages.
For the purposes.
There are so many.
Napo is our friend.
If it's your friend, why are you impugning wrongdoing?
I am here to call the.
Why are you impugning wrongdoing when there is no any justifiable reason?
If I found you raping somebody,
How?
hold on. If I found you raping somebody,
use the number.
Assuming without
So use the number.
Okay, if I found you
remember. So I got it, but you
if I found you committing a crime,
oh no,
or committing a crime, let's just say committing a crime,
or doing something,
and then I'm a witness to it, and I'm brought before the court to testify against you, I will testify against you. So the fact that Napo is my friend and your friend and our friend does not exonerate him.
No, I'm not saying you should.
Exactly.
But you don't unjustifiably malign him
I'm not malign
when there is no need for
it.
No, but you said that he signed.
No, he went on air.
And I said that what document did he sign?
He went on air and said that he had nothing to do with the transaction.
He did not.
Look for the contract here.
No, I'm saying that.
Hold on.
There's MOU, there are procurement, the requisition, and all those things.
Who signed it?
And those things, he never signed those.
Who signed it?
Which ones did Napo sign?
No, he said teachers' unions.
Which one?
On behalf of the Ministry of Education, who signed?
That's what I'm saying. It's the teachers' union
and the teachers
who brought the whole thing.
No problem.
And who were given the mandate to sign.
Yes, on the side of government, who also signed?
No, on the side of government, that was Napo. But he did not sign for the real contract.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me.
No, read what you have. Don't laugh.
I'm looking for it.
So why are you laughing? You hold on.
Coverghana.com.gh. Dr. Very handsome man, Matthew Opoku Prempeh, signed a letter for supply of laptops, of teachers' laptops.
Supply, yes.
There were allegations of a memorandum of understanding signed between the three major teacher unions, namely the Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT, and Coalition for Concerned Teachers, CCTGH.
Yes.
The Ministry of Education and KA Technologies Ghana Limited, during the former Minister of Education, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh's administration.
Yes.
Though the documents have been widely circulated on social media platforms confirming his input in the deal, the former minister has, in an interview, disassociated himself from the said document.
Yes.
So it goes on and on and on. Where is the contract? Look for the contract for me, please. Because it emerged subsequent to the interview he granted that he indeed had appended the signature. Because he created the impression that he had absolutely nothing to do with any of the transaction. So I'm just saying that
it was a brainchild of the teachers' union. And what government, on the part of government, what government is supposed to do, definitely that one, the minister will have to sign.
Okay.
The minister cannot abnegate his job to a different organization. If it is that it is the minister who is supposed to sign a particular place, he has to do that.
So this sole sourcing thing, who initiated not government on the side of government because they.
But there's no problem with sole sourcing.
Okay.
But the reasons that we have given for when we can use sole sourcing.
We only gave two. I mean, there are still more.
But I want to know the one that finds expression.
Thank you.
In this particular.
That is all we are saying to do.
There's absolutely nothing, and I can appreciate why you are doing all of these things because your man is at the center of all of these controversies.
It's not about
clearly.
that.
I mean, so I can appreciate that. But the point is that,
please,
you know,
My man is public knowledge.
yes.
no, he is my man.
If you
I will not run away from him. But the point is that he has not done anything.
If you are driving the hyena away, make sure the goat stops bleating.
Look at this.
KOD,
Yes.
per our Labour Act 2008, Act 651, as emphasized in State Hotels Corporations versus Owusu Free, it is the duty of an employer to provide tools for his or her employees to work with. Yes. So, granted that the proposal to procure laptops came from the leadership of the teachers argued by Saka, why should government accept the proposal having in mind the position of the law on provision of tools? Because whether or not the deductions are made from professional allowance, it is the individual teacher who knows how to enhance his or her professional competence. In other words, can they force that on the university teachers?
Why not?
That said, hold on. That said, Saka should stop the kind of argument he's advancing, that no teacher has a problem with the laptop and the deductions made thereof from their professional development allowance. He has no idea, as he is behaving like an armchair professor purporting to know everything. It is a pity, because I have a litany of teachers in my house, including my wife, who are complaining. Shalom. Dennis, why I quit? Now, Saka, it will do you, it will serve you.
Your wife is an armchair complainer. If your wife has a problem, you should bring the laptop.
Saka, I believe that it will serve all of us a great deal if you just simply Googled.
What I'm saying
You
is
will
that
find a myriad of
there's
stories, which stories are indicating to us
why
that
should
teachers
your
have a
wife
problem.
has a problem with a computer laptop? Then
Yes.
your wife will rather come and complain to you instead of complaining.
No, I don't think the wife has a problem with the laptop.
So what
deduction? The by force deduction.
So the Brunya people.
That is
so you wanted the money for Brunya instead of the professional development.
But you see, the teacher unions mentioned in the contract, there are about 3. But as a teacher, you have to belong to these 3 unions. Is it a must that you have to be a member?
Nobody is saying so.
That is it.
No,
And that is the argument.
freedom of association.
Precisely. So
Yes.
then you can't advance and force people.
All right.
They are not forcing them.
And I'm telling you, because now it's
Nobody
like,
is forcing
no, it's
anybody.
like, okay, so the leader
So
said,
because of that, they have to manufacture problem and then talk about it.
they're not manufacturing problems.
Because they were not part of those who served.
Stanley Jr. from the voter register says, Kwame, let the MPP panelists understand that he's talking to teachers, not class 1 pupils. We will answer him in 2024.
Oh, he will answer me, but there are more teachers who will answer us.
Yeah.
Yes, those who are happy will answer us.
Saka Salia, my brother.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
How do you know?
They are happy. Why didn't you give it to them free?
Anyway, I saw.
It's not free.
the professional development fee.
549.
What is it? Is
No,
it their money?
no, 549. It's not.
Aliu, can
Is it
I,
their money?
gentlemen,
No,
I'm saying that it is coming from government in itself.
Oh, no.
gentlemen, can I read my
This is the
message?
first time government is giving
Saka,
them those
with
money.
respect,
in
with
that sense.
respect. I saw a show by Miss Amma Pratt about schools in Accra. It was a disgrace to see the state of those schools. I was brought to tears watching the program. I had to switch off because I could not believe there is a government that will allow the future of the country to be educated in those conditions. Children are the future. Personally, I think Ghana is accelerating towards a failed state. Can anyone name a perfectly functioning institution in this country, including the parliament and judiciary? None functions more than 40%. Raj Afro. You know, when I hear this, Saka, I
Those
get
schools are you
upset.
talking
Saka, you
about?
should be the last person. You should be the
was
last.
built at
Why
the
do we change governments?
When we voted them,
And those people making the noise are making the noise because they want government to be changed so that their favorite person will come. Their favorite person was there when we still had this deplorable situation.
That is why he was voted out.
And he should be there and not come
You
again.
have your round 2. You want you to move in there and, you know.
Saka
Government
should.
cannot solve everything at
No,
once.
but these ones are immediate.
Then when you take your lens and go and get something, then you want to
I
tell
think
the
that
government.
you should respect the viewers and
I'm
their
respecting
time. But
them.
this time it's for the viewers.
These are emergencies.
So let me just read the messages from our viewers. With respect, you can disagree with them, that's okay, but at least let me finish reading so you can comment on them. Saka should go back and read about the history of Nkrumah and his plan for this country. We are suffering because we have all these shallow-minded people who claim they have monopoly of wisdom in government. Umar Farouk King, please let your panel, Saka, answer your question. Which laptop he is using in his office? If he thinks that the T1 laptop is the best, why is he not using that in his office? Lillian Akosua Bedi says, daylight robbery or wishful thinking or hanging onto power. Chakai, breaking 8, 5 impony. You know the C top, not 8. But like it's early days yet. Let's see. This MPP government power. They couldn't use 276 billion to give Ghanaians any development. What will small e-levy 7 billion do? And why are they forcing us to implement it? Corruption breeders. Anna Nebwa. Sahad Abubakar from the Gambia. He's watching us from the Gambia.
Oh, that's nice.
I wonder how they will always expose themselves and later try to defend what they say. Muhammad Abdul Razak Ali. I would have loved Saka. Didn't come back this morning. Saka is my man. Prosper Bilanant Dumung. I hope I got the name right. Thieves and lies shall face the Lord. God is just come waiting for them. Umar Farouk King. Saka doesn't know what he's talking about. How can you say no teacher has contributed anything for the laptop? Was the money paid into his account? Was the deduction affected his salary or allowance? What do you mean? If the government introduced a policy, it doesn't mean that he should find another way of taking the money from us. Then they better abolish it. We don't need any policy. Kwesi Abuaje Pra says, good morning to you, K.O. Saka is infuriating the Ghanaian teachers. You should be well informed before coming on the show. Kwesi Abuaje Pra, head teacher, AAK district.
Head teacher should have told us.
Alfred Glover says, we teachers wish to be in the studio. How we shall not boot Saka out. If Saka said the professional allowance wasn't our money, is it our pension? Is our pension yes? So Abena Owusu says, can't Ghanaians complain again? Should everything be NDC being behind it? Don't we have sense again to know what this Nanado government is? That Nanado's government is a complete failure. Well, Abena is asking a very fundamental question. The teachers, I think that we should give them an opportunity.
Yeah, precisely.
And give ourselves the privilege to have them in the studios to have a conversation about their condition. It is very, very important. That's what Pan-African Television stands for. So, if you know any of the, in fact, if anybody is watching who belongs to ATAG, All Teachers Alliance Ghana, we will give them the platform, not an opportunity. Give them the platform
to come and sit here with
to come and explain,
to checkmate them,
to come and explain. To come and explain
they have to
us.
call the other unions too, so that all of them will be on the same panel.
No wahala. So yeah, let's proceed. Resign to campaign Nanado to flag bearers. Daily Guide newspaper. Saga.
What?
Daily Guide. I picked your paper. Daily Guide.
Well, you are jumping. You are jumping
because of time.
And so we'll go to the Ashanti one. So let's start with the Ashanti one.
Are you the one to tell me which topic?
So why have you jumped to the last one?
Resign to campaign Nanado to flag bearers.
No problem.
Saga.
Yeah.
I like your mustache. You need to grow it more. not the beard. I like the mustache. Yes, I like it.
Yeah,
it's making you look like Johnny Hughes.
Yeah, he's my friend.
I know.
Yeah, Johnny is my good friend.
All right, proceed.
Yeah, resign to contest. Yeah. I think that is the way to go. He himself, one time or the other, resigned and contested and won in 2007 when under the Kufuor regime. He felt, people cannot be in office and still be jostling for power. And it distracts cabinet, it distracts the running of the government itself, and it takes away the focus of building the nation. So I have a lot of respect for Jogati, when he decided that he was going fully and therefore was not interested in being given another position. So from day one, he started doing his campaign and all that. But we still have others who are ministers who, by dint of what they are doing outside in secret, we all know those who are contesting, even though they have not come out.
Is Napo contesting?
Oh, Napo is not contesting. Even though I would have loved him, I would have jumped onto his campaign and campaigned for him, because he's one individual that has a lot of influence in this country. And by his competence, we all know that he one day will lead this country. I would have loved him to contest. Anyway, but we have others who are cabinet ministers and still, contested. If you go to Ashanti region, for instance, I mean, run up to our Congress, a conference, you see the billboards that are asking for the eye of the beholder. Every angle that you see a billboard saying something to you. And I think that yesterday, my boss, someone had come out strongly about this. And that we cannot allow these things to continue.
I'm on air.
Can
you text me?
When people see the billboards like that, the usual talk of insensitivity comes in. People talk about times are hard and all those things, and then you are erecting and creating billboards of gargantuan sizes, all over the place. I mean, to show opulence and those things. So the party, those who want to contest. I mean, some of those who want to contest and all this. Yeah. And all of them.
All of them. I think over the weekend I was watching Woon2Me TV. I was watching Woon2Me.
Yes.
And then one of the vice chairperson in Ashanti region was complaining. There are some billboards in Ashanti region. So that is it? Who?
I mean, not one person.
I mean, not one person.
But
the point is that I have not seen.
Personally,
No.
You see Dr. Akuto.
Who be Akuto?
Agric minister. In fact, for his billboard, nationwide. When I look from Aflawo, wherever I go, I see his billboards. The right presidential roof. That's it.
You are kidding?
No, I'm serious. I've been going around the regions. I've been seeing his billboards everywhere.
So come.
No disrespect to his
achievement. No disrespect.
But he can't be president. No disrespect to his achievement.
No problem.
No disrespect to his achievement. But he can never be president.
Oh yeah, Kwame, but it can be if the Ghanaian people want it.
No, the Ghanaian people don't want it.
That would be the NPP delegates wanting first.
No, the NPP delegates they don't want it.
Yeah. So
how will you say a bunch of
Kwame, to be honest with you, I think that he's a very competent individual. If you look at his dexterity,
I've not questioned
his handiwork at the Ministry of Agri.
I've not questioned that.
At the Ministry of Agri, I think that it is competent people that we want to
competence for
you get my point.
Competence is subjective.
Yeah, it's subjective anyway,
and it's also relative.
But I think that even you can rule.
Don't use even.
But you don't have as much experience as he has.
What is experience?
Oh, he has been everywhere. He has been a member of parliament.
He is saying times
several times. He's been a business.
Obviously, he has an experience more than me because he's an old man.
So,
but
how old are you? You are 40 now. You are not.
Thereabout.
You are not even qualified to be a president.
No. That's why we need to change the constitution.
Yeah, I'm qualified.
We need to change the constitution.
I'm qualified.
We need to change the constitution.
From presidents.
We can have people
from 40 going.
We can have people who are
MPs 21 going.
Hold on. We can have people.
They should be looked at.
Yeah, we should look at it. So that Emmanuel Macron's people, like 30, 35, presidents. Like second Ghana, he chopped president.
Sometimes when in the age of
but you see, sometimes I mean, you see, it's good that you talk about this changing of some of these things. But 40 years ago, there was a reason. You see, they wanted somebody who had experience.
Now we have come to know that. We have come to know that the age does not tell anything.
I mean, age is not. So we can change it. Once you can vote for, you should be able to be voted for. So those things. I mean, so I'm saying that the president is right, because he himself, one time or the other, was in such a shoe, and then he resigned. So if you are in the president's cabinet, and those people who are in the cabinet, we all know them. You don't need to mention them. We know Alan Tramontaine is there. We know
at least I've not seen his billboard.
He also has billboards.
But okay, well, not maybe
he has
now,
billboards. We have seen Afriya Koto. We have seen the others. I mean, even though they are not in cabinet, for them they can do whatever they want to do. But those in his government who are jostling and who are using official time to do presidential campaign must resign. They don't wait till maybe 2 years or just resign now and go and concentrate on becoming a president. And I think that when you resign now, your chances of even becoming a president is brighter than if you delay. So I will also add my voice to that of the president, that we don't want distraction in this government, because we are focused on building this nation. We are focused on ensuring that the EU starts comes in, the NAPCO. We are focused on ensuring that the planting for food and jobs is enhanced. We are focused on ensuring that we build and continue to build the economy to the extent that it will meet the needs and aspirations of this of the people of this country. So we don't want distractions, and those people, they are not the only people who can be in cabinet. If they think that they can become presidents, they should just go and do so. And I think that the president did not miss ways.
Okay,
he made it successfully, and that is the way to go. It's everywhere. And for me, I think that those that you mentioned, they are competent enough. Everybody is competent enough. But please, we don't want anybody to distract the president. Then somebody will talk about the vice. For the vice president position,
he must resign.
No, it's constitutionally, entrenched.
I'm kidding. No,
but he can also resign if he wants to.
No, he doesn't need to resign.
No, I say if he wants to.
If he wants, he cannot be asked to resign.
But if he wants,
if he thinks in the interest.
To be honest with you, when you were mentioning all the people, to be honest, I'm being completely honest with you. When mentioning all the people who intend to contest, his name even didn't cross my mind.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, because he has been low key.
Because he's been disgraced. And the number of
disgraced like what?
Oh, brother.
They've been doing low key. Disgraced around.
Yeah, but you see, you remember the promise that he went to make to the Cape Coasters, and the president came to deflate.
No, he never made promise. Please.
What did he say?
No.
What did he say?
You see, sometimes he went and educated the people of Cape Coast on what was in the MPP's manifesto. So when he said
that the Cape Coasters are
what he said at the University of Cape Coast was what was in the MPP manifesto.
Don't use the word to educate the people, to explain.
No, I said that, okay.
You can't educate people in Cape Coast.
I mean, you can educate
people. Intelligent.
No, it's not about that.
You're very intelligent.
We understand. If you write your own book, if you write your book, you can go around to explain or to educate people on your book.
Okay, so I have the General Secretary of All Teachers Alliance Ghana on the phone. Good morning, sir. Hello? Hello? I'm getting feedback. Guys, check your sound in the MCR. Hello? Hello?
These are attack people.
Hello? Hello? I'm sure when they connect him again, you'll be able to talk to him.
Is his name Atta?
Go on. Let me.
Yeah. So that is the. I think that we don't have to belabor those points.
All right.
The president has said this.
Hello.
Therefore, everybody must follow.
Hello. Hello. Moses, let me come to you.
Yeah, well, I believe the power of His Excellency is in order. But in such circumstances, you realize that, as he said, there are people who are doing campaign very low-key. Very, very low-key. And their campaign is everywhere, visible, but very low-key.
So, when you tell them that, okay, you have to concentrate, so, you need to resign, are just thinking and knowing their strategy very well, who still like to hold on to their positions and still do their low-key. Because some of the aspirants, some of them, we don't even know their names in public, but low-key, we know some people are going to pop up. So when that is done, it means that low-key, he's doing his campaign, but he doesn't want any attraction. So such a person who will still want to carry on with his ministerial position or any other position he's holding. Now, where the field will not be even is when some ministers will then resign and go to the field to, campaign. And we all know that His Excellency the Vice President is also a major contestant in this upcoming. Is that what?
The forum.
Well, I don't know that. You see, so it becomes something for me. I don't think it's going to be fair, because as Saka is saying, his position is somehow a constitutional guaranteed position. Even though if he wishes to resign, he could have done same. And I don't think that will play out. He won't. And we have a lot of precedent to that effect. When His Excellency Ali Mahama was also contesting, of course, he held on to his position at a point in time, used his position to his benefit to tour the nation and to also speak to delegates. The same thing is going to play out with that of His Excellency Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia. He's going to leverage on his position as Vice President to meet up with the delegates of the MPP and campaign. And we cannot take that away from him. That is going to happen. And for us, we are bystanders who are watching what is happening in the MPP. We don't think it's going to be an even playing field. Already, you have so many leading members of the MPP who have already taken sides. They are our friends. We speak to them. They've taken sides on who they are going to support and whose agenda they are going to push. It's not going to be an easy struggle for them. But all in all, I believe His Excellency, being an experienced politician who has also gone through the same situation, has made a just call. And all of them who want the MPP to really perform in government, they should heed to this advice, and with immediate effect, by the 10th of 1st January 2022, tender their resignation and move to their fields to campaign as potential flag bearers. Kwame, to add, for me, the MPP as a party, as it stands now, Saka, as it stands now,
Yes.
For me, there is no way the MPP can win an election if it is organized today.
Yeah, I think the General Secretary is on again.
I'm just
Yeah, hold on, gentlemen. The General Secretary of ATAG is on now. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, sir? Something about the sound. I'm struggling to hear him. Hello? Hello?
Let them write.
Saka is
Sent to you.
Hello? We are having some serious technical challenge. I don't know what the problem is. Hello?
Just write and send to you.
Okay, this is what's going to happen. I'm sure the guys can call you on the midday news, so you guys can have a conversation on this subject matter. It's important that we get to the bottom of it. But you can hear me. Let me try for the one for the last time. Hello. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
So bless see to it that he's featured on the midday news. We need clarity. Right.
So as I was saying,
Yep.
it'll be very difficult.
And in concluding,
yes, in concluding, if elections were held today, I don't think the elephant can survive it.
But they would see you.
Oh well, why not? We've always survived it. Now, for us, Saka, you see, anybody who emerges as the flag, why not? We've always survived. Anybody who emerges as flag bearer of the MPP has a Hegelian tax. To be very honest with you, because as it stands now, they've disappointed the teeming masses of youth in this country.
Okay.
And the person, yes. My brother.
The youth standard is coming up.
Oh, which youth standard? Oh, that lip service. So for us, the person who's going to succeed now, His Excellency the President, has a Herculean tax.
All right.
And for me, sitting where I'm sitting and knowing what I know and doing what the kind of work I want to do on the ground, I don't see them.
Thank you.
Ever overcoming the 2024.
Well, a special good morning to you, Matthew Opoku Prempeh.
Dr. Matthew Prempeh.
Doctor.
Hey.
And to my very, very good
Honorary.
brother, Samuel, good morning as well. To everybody who watched us this
Morning. Hanan Abdul. Good morning to you, CEO of Buffer Stock. Great guy by all standards. Thank you guys for having.
Never sits in the office.
Who Hanan?
He said he always sits in the office. He
always sits in the office.
He always sits in the office.
Well,
They're not
Why you've been there and you couldn't see him?
because there were things we were supposed to help his outfit, and people came from regions.
Did you book?
Oh,
Did
why
you book
not?
an appointment with
But All to their disappointment.
No,
well.
I'm sure maybe he was sick or something. Because he's always
he's a great guy. He's a great guy.
I'm sure he was not well. But Hanan is always in his office. Even this morning, he will be in the office. So you can go and see him this morning.
Some farmers are really looking for him. So
yeah, the farmers will find him.
Samuel, you don't have any.
Samuel is a senior brother. Sami is one politician that's on the political divide. No matter where you find yourself, you know Sami.
Sami is there.
Yeah, everybody knows Sami. I don't
Fantastic
even know him.
guy.
I don't even know him.
You don't even know
I don't know him.
Okay, thank you very much, Remember.
Also, Kwame, you see?
Thank you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a nice day, bye-bye.
Yeah.
African Center for Capacity Building, AFCA, organizes the following executive and